Hello everybody, welcome to my new pottery video today. Today's video is kind of cool. I think this is how I want these videos to sort of look like from now on with minor adjustments. But I have got everything sort of set up in a cool way, so I'm excited to show you guys that. There's not too much else, We got a short free guys, we got a object history free guys, we got the mug, coolest memory at the end. We got 3 pots. One of the pots is like totally just falling apart. The other one, I had a little bit of an oopsie on it, but it actually turned out pretty cool still. And then one of them is just, classic, pristine. So hope you guys enjoy the video today. Thank you, all the best, strong mentality. See you in a second, peace. Alright guys, hold on one sec, I gotta get some water. You guys can come with me. So, today's video, I gotta show you guys some of the stuff that I did. So, I'm getting prepped and ready for some cool changes in the pottery videos. So hopefully my battery doesn't run out. So first things first, I gotta show you guys the new green screen area, guys. So this is gonna be huge. So I cleaned the green screen, and so it's all nice. This is my mess ups, my failures from the commercial today, the pottery edit. It was just tragic, but I did want to make sure I did something cool for you guys. So yeah, and then okay, I gotta zoom out a little bit. Oh, sorry guys, not this far out though. Whoop, too far. There we go. Now you guys can see me making this stuff. So, here I am. So today is kind of an interesting day. I think I want to talk first about yesterday, right? And so I was trying to think about a new way to like hang up the green screen behind me, right? And it was kind of a hassle because I didn't know like how it was gonna go. So I went to a place called Menards and I got some drill bits and some screws, and I was going to screw it into like one of the boards, right, to hang it above, right? And then I realized, like when I got back, that the hole that I'm gonna put the tube through, right, like a PVC pipe to like hang it up, right? It was too large for the hole in the wood. So I was like, oh, man, like how am I gonna do this now? And then I remembered an old project that I did where I had to drill a hole, and so I went searching for a drill bit, right? Like the circular drill bit that kind of makes a big circle, like about like this big. And all of a sudden I found it, and I was so excited that I found it, guys, let me tell you. And so I drilled in the holes and I got it all set up. And then when I was going to be using the screws, the screwdriver that I had, it wasn't working. Like the screw bit, right? It wasn't working. It was too pointed for the screws that I had. So I was like, oh man. And then I realized like I have these clamps, and so instead of screwing it in, I just clamped it up, right? And it was like a really, really great solution. And it was so funny because and I think that's like the moral of this this little clip or this story, is that oftentimes the routes that we plan on aren't the paths that we take, right? And so I planned I planned this route out to be like, or this path out to be like, I was just going to be quick, screwed in, be done, and then it was all good. But there were so many obstacles that came in the way, right? And it was because of my past self that those obstacles were solved, right? And I think that for me is like the biggest, it extends past just like that one moment, right? It wasn't just like, it wasn't just completely random that my problem got solved the way it did, right? It had to come from my past self putting in effort in different ways, right? In ways that I didn't really knew that would be solutions for my future self, right? And so I think that's it. That's like part of the idea of like this idea of a God sprinkle, right? It's not stuff that just happens randomly, right? These aren't things that just happen. They're things that you plant, right? And then later on down your life, they'll come back to you, right? And it's like a path you chose, right? Imagine you're presented with jars, like a ton of jars in front of you, right? And every single one of these jars is filled with sprinkles in it, right? In every moment of your life, you extend your hand outward, pick a jar, open it, and pick out a sprinkle, right? Not like, the important part is that you are reaching forward, right? You're never just walking past these jars. You're always reaching forward, because you never know, one of the sprinkles you might pick out might be that wonderful God sprinkle, right? And so I think that's also like what happened. It's like I planted these decisions that I made in the past that came to fruition in the future here and allowed me to solve a problem, right? And it was really wonderful for me to have that experience, just because sometimes when this stuff doesn't work out, it's like so frustrating, because I have to donate like a whole entire day where I could be like making videos to trying to figure out all this like bullshit that doesn't really affect my day in a positive way, right? And so it was really cool to have that little experience yesterday, and especially now since I got to hang out clean the new green screen, and that was really fun too. It was at like 10 o'clock at night yesterday, and I took the old green screen with all the clay on the floor, and I brought it out to like this little grass patch in the middle of the night, and I was making these giant dust plumes, right? It was so interesting. I really enjoyed the time I had last night doing that. I wish I would have recorded it, but for me, it was like one of those moments where like I feel like recording it would have like got rid of the magic of that moment, you know? And that's what for people who love just recording things, there's something special about a moment only existing for you, right? Never to be seen by anyone other than your own memory, right? And so I would challenge all of you guys to sort of make those moments for you happen. And then I also today, this short that you're going to see, the short edited video, man, all those failures that I did, it was getting so frustrating, because when I put that green screen mask on, I can't even tell you how much it's almost like I'm throwing blind, because the light that's like shining so I can get good image quality is also the thing that's like reflecting off of some of the sheen of the fabric. It makes it so difficult for me to see the pot and see the slight small movements. And I never, I often say like, there's that saying that goes like a millimeter makes a difference, right? Well, when you can't see what the heck you're doing, oh my gosh, does that change things, Like it really changes things. And so I'm going to keep doing it, because first off, like, man, it's going to be so, like, it's almost like throwing blind. And can you imagine if one day I can throw completely blind, and it's about on par with me throwing without without it on, you know, like me fully vision versus me handicapped vision, right, is the same skill, right? That'd be so awesome. I kind of butchered this thing here, so we'll do this first. I don't even know what's going on here. But that was a really cool little moment for me today. And then I also had like a cup history thing for you guys today, featuring another artist too, right? I did a collaboration a while ago with an individual, and that pot, it just turned out so good, and I think it has a cool history to it, and right, like that's sort of what that whole little segment is about. Oh, look at that, guys. Great, this one's beautiful. I feel so relieved that I can see the fucking pot. It's really, it makes me happy. So, here's number one. I'll see you guys in a second. I'm going to cut to, you know what, let's do the cup history first, and I'll end off on the short. All right, here we go, guys. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pottery History. This is a cup that is not my own, right? Although I threw the object, I didn't sculpt all these little intricate details. And so this time, this is a collaboration piece that I'm going to be talking about. You know, I don't really do a lot of these sort of collaborations anymore since I'm not in a school, but I was working with an artist named Michael Takahata, and he's an amazing sculptor, does a lot of miniature stuff, and you can see, like, let's see if I can get a nice little thing on I'll slowly rotate it. But you can see he carved this wood texture in, right? And he doesn't do throwing, but I do. And so I asked him, I said, if I threw a cup, would you sculpt on it, right? And he said, yeah, sure thing. He has a lot of this wood texture. And I was just really excited to work together with him. And we did another piece, and we did like a terra sigillata pot where the spiral had like rocks and whatnot going up it in a spiral. And then this one, you know, I was just really infatuated with some of his barrel things that he did. And so I was like, you know, like maybe just do like a barrel thing on this. And then so he did, and I was just blown away by the result, right? I threw the inside, and the inside has I don't know if you can really see too well. It's just like a copper red. It's almost pinkish, you know, interior there. You know, the wine in the barrel maybe. But the exterior is this beautiful ash glaze that it's a fake ash glaze. And how I'm getting that is with a lot of calcium carbonate, otherwise known as like whiting. It's essentially like seashells, you know. And you put a bunch of that and you get this almost like rippling effect, and it just added and emphasized all the details that Michael did on the pot here, even pulling above this little rope that he made, and even like emphasizing all the little marks of the wood grain and everything. And you can even still see some of my throwing lines up and down the pot. Just really a terrific object, and I was so thankful that I got to work with an individual. I think this pot specifically opened up my mind to the ability that I have to work with other individuals, right? I have a lot of friends who are visual artists, and so this is like one of the first pots where I think it really opened up my mind to the ability to work with my pals and fellow artists who do visual stuff, to manifest some of that visual aspects into objects, possibly to be, you know, sold one day. I'd love to be able to like help out my friends who make visual work. But yeah, this is the pot today. It's a little bit heavy towards the bottom, but you know, this isn't a cup that I would want to use on the daily, right? This is really a nice object that I just love to look at whenever I see it. And you know, most people, you know, they see Michael's work and it draws them to look closer to it just because it's miniature, right? And so pair that with an object that you can interact with, and I just felt that this one was a really strong contender for a object to display in this pottery history thing. But thank you guys so much. We're gonna get back to the video. Again, this is it. Set it right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in a second. Peace. Welcome back, guys. So, yeah, there's just a lot of really exciting things coming up, but before I get into that stuff, like, shout out to Michael Takahata, because those pots that he makes, and like his skill in sculpting is unparalleled. So I'm glad I could show off that collaboration cup to you guys. He's really a great guy too. I've never met a more sweet human than Michael Takahata. So if y'all are ever interested, you should check him out. He's a great artist. But yeah, now that I have that green screen, you guys will see in the short kind of what my plans are for that. I'm going to be a little bit more theatrical with some things, and then I also, I want to start streaming, and I keep thinking, like, how cool would it be, right? You clock into a stream, and then you come into the stream, and then all you see is just some dude sitting on the middle of the wheel, right? So I'd sit in the middle of the ground over there, and then it'd actually just be me sitting on the wheel. Oh my gosh, how cool would that be, guys? Like, I get pretty excited about stuff like that. That's all I would need first I need one more camera, right? And I need to be able to connect the cameras to, the program. And I would need a foot pedal to switch between them, right? And so that's sort of my plan for that, guys. Really excited about it. I still need to get another computer and a camera. And obviously, there's going to be more expensive with that, but I think I almost have enough to be able to do that. And I think it's going to go really well for me. Just because I've been throwing every day for like more than 160 days now, straight, well, that's not totally true. There's 2 days in which I planned ahead, but I still posted every day. So that's I guess more what I mean. But just really keeping up on that grind, I feel like streaming is right up my alley, because I think something that always is a good sign for a good streamer and a bad streamer is their consistency. If they're consistent and making quality content, I think that's like, that's where it's at. Oh no. Alright, hold on, guys. So what happened there, it's not good, but we can save it. That's all we gotta do. Let's go back down, reset our step. We lost a little bit of clay. Let's make that curve in them again. Great. You have that little inconsistency there, if you guys can see. So we're gonna focus on trying to fix that right now. Slow and steady wins the race in these spots. Whenever you mess up in an area, just go over it very slowly. Always keep constant pressure in there, and then you'll see there's still has some of the memory of that mess up, but we're still cruising. We didn't get stifled by it, right? I actually think I need to switch up the way I've been doing that first pull, the claw grip pull. I'm realizing that, especially too when not seeing, it makes it really hard to gauge what's going on. There we go. That's great. Okay. Then we're going to start underneath where that undulation sort of picks up, right there. And slowly take this all the way up, right? And look at that collar. I mean, this collar is really, really nice. And that's sort of the important thing. Whenever you're collaring, you want it to feel like you're pulling the clay, like doing a pull, right? You don't want it to just be like not constant, not direct, right? You want it to be like totally in control. You want to feel that clay, your fingers almost cutting into that clay there. Because if you don't, then the clay's moving you more than you're moving it, right? And that's never really a good thing. Great. There we go. We're in a good spot here, guys. All right. Now we're going to start with our undulations here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a low twist. 5. Look at that. One hand, twist this up. Get that other hand in there. It's okay. We could have tore, but you know, we'll keep this one how it is. Some interesting little pot here. Didn't really get that tree that we normally like to see, but again, that's okay. Look at that, guys. Great. Pop this open. And you can see, I forget that now you can see, look at that. That's where it tore, and so now it's folding right there. So I can't mess with it anymore, right? But you don't want every single one of your pots to look the same anyway. It's good to have some variation. Go. Stuff like that happens with these pots, but that's all you got to do is really just set them back in, and then you're good to go. All right, we're going to do a nice little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great, guys, look at that. Awesome. Feels like it's wanting to fall again, so we're going to be prepared to catch it. Actually looks pretty okay. Alright, guys. Here it is. You guys will see it in a second here. But I'm going to cut to the short, so here we go. Peace out, guys.
Feel the bass in your spine, make the place come alive. It's so right, ain't the fucking right, it's a dirty vibe.
Bump and grind, for your skin touch up on mine. Look into your eyes, yeah, you know what we gon' do tonight. You know, I came for the party, but I stay for you. Love the way you touch me, I love the way you move. Come a little closer, like what you tryna do. Yeah, get up on, get up on, get up on, yeah.
I wanna get about it. Mini skirt with the big fit. Throw it back like this. Spend a couple bands if you're ready.
thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked that short there. I appreciate it. I've got a lot of new plans. I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, this one's totally just disheveled and falling apart. It looks kind of crazy. But again, guys, thank you so much. All the best. Strong mentality. Peace. There we go.
So the coolest thing that happened to me was when I was a kid and I went on a Disney cruise and they had this how to draw thing and I drew Donald Duck, and then later on I found him on the cruise and I showed him my drawing and he was shook by how good it was by an 8-year-old, and I think that's the highest form of flattery you can get, is showing a picture of the character you drew and he's like, oh my gosh, I love it, but silent.
Yeah.